Welcome to Lead in 10. I'm Chris Moore, and today I want to introduce you to something close to my heart. My new book, Lead Like the Lion, Serve Like the Lamb. Now, this isn't just another leadership book. It's about learning how to lead with both boldness and compassion, knowing when to roar and when to listen. Today, I'm reading chapter 1. It's called Drop Your Net. It's about leaving behind what's familiar and stepping into something greater. Let me set the scene. Peter, Andrew, James, and John are out fishing. And this isn't a weekend hobby for them. It's their job, their livelihood. They've been out all night and they have caught nothing. They're tired, frustrated, maybe even questioning themselves. And then Jesus shows up. He's not a fisherman. He's a carpenter. But he tells them to head back out and try again. Can you imagine the look on their faces? But Peter says, "Nevertheless, at thy word, I will let down the net." What happens next changes everything. Let's dive into the first chapter. Chapter 1, Drop Your Nets. And Simon answering said unto him, Master, we have toiled all night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word, I will let down the net. And when they had this done, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their net brake. And they beckoned until their partners, which were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. This is Luke chapter 5, verses 5 through 7a, King James Version. What would it take to drop everything and follow a new vision for your life? Think about that for a second. Would you do it if the opportunity was right, or would fear hold you back? Picture this scene. Peter, Andrew, James, and John are out fishing. It's not a hobby, it's their livelihood. They've been at it all night. They've caught nothing, absolutely nothing. They're exhausted, frustrated, and probably questioning everything they know about fishing. And then Jesus shows up. Now, he's not a fisherman. He's a carpenter. But he tells these professional fishermen to try again, to push out into the deeper water, let down their nets one more time. Can you imagine the eye rolls, the internal dialogue? Who does this guy think he is? But Peter says something powerful. Master, we have toiled all night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word, I will let down the net. Nevertheless, at thy word. They do it. And the catch is so massive, their nets start breaking. They have to call their partners to help haul it all in. Boats are sinking under the weight of fish. And then Jesus drops the real bombshell. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. This was that lion and the lamb moment. Watch what Jesus does here. This is lion-lamb leadership in perfect harmony. The lion shows up with authority. He doesn't ask permission to get in their boat. He doesn't apologize for his lack of fishing credentials. He speaks with confidence of someone who knows exactly who he is and what he's doing. Launch out into the deep. He commands. That's the lion's roar, bold, authoritative, uncompromising about the mission. But notice the lamb. He gets in their boat. He meets them where they are. He enters their world, their struggle, their disappointment. He doesn't stand on the shore shouting instructions. He sits with them in their failure. And when he calls them to follow, he doesn't demand it. He invites it. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. The lion casts vision with authority. The lamb extends invitation with grace. It's purpose, and a purpose that requires both. Here's what's powerful about this moment. Jesus doesn't promise them an easy life. He doesn't say, follow me and I'll make you rich. He doesn't even promise they'll understand what's coming. But he promises transformation. I will make you fishers of men. That's a purpose that requires the lion's courage. Think about it. These men would face persecution, rejection, even death for this mission. They need backbone. They need to roar when the world tries to silence them. But it also requires the lamb's heart. You can't fish for men with force. You can't save souls through domination. You need gentleness, patience, compassion. You need to serve. Jesus was calling them to be both lion and lamb, just like him. And this is the modern leader's dilemma. Let me bring this home to where you lead. Maybe you're facing the same tension these fishermen faced. You know you need to cast bold vision. It's the lion in you. But you also know your team is tired, maybe discouraged, possibly skeptical. That calls for the lamb. How do you do both? I think of a CEO I know who needed to pivot his company. The lion in him wanted to charge ahead, make the call, and demand compliance, but his team was exhausted from 2 years of constant change. So he did what Jesus did. He got in their boat first. He held listening sessions. He acknowledged their weariness. He sat with them in their frustration. That's the lamb. But then he cast vision with absolute clarity and conviction. This is where we're going. This is why it matters. This is what we'll become. No apology, no wavering. That's the lion. The result? His team followed, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. They saw a leader strong enough to lead them somewhere meaningful and humble enough to understand their journey. And there's a cost of purpose-driven leadership. Let's be honest. What Jesus was asking, these men would leave everything, their nets, their boats, their business, and their security. Following a purpose bigger than popularity always costs something. The lion in you needs to be willing to make hard calls, to say no to opportunities that don't align with your purpose, to disappoint people who want to be something you're not, to stand firm when the crowd wants you to compromise. But the lamb in you needs to count the cost for others too. What are you asking your team to sacrifice? How can you serve them through the transition? How can you be gentle with their fears even as you're bold about the future? Jesus did both. He was clear about the cost. Foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. That's lion-like honesty. But he also promised to be with them, to make them something new. That's lamb-like care. Purpose over popularity. Here's the hard truth. Purpose-driven leadership isn't always popular. When Jesus called his fishermen, he wasn't taking a poll. He wasn't focus grouping his message. He wasn't trying to go viral. The lion in him knew that truth divides. Not everyone would follow. Not everyone would understand. Some would walk away. But the lamb in him made the invitation so compelling that those who did follow would give everything. They weren't following a program or a paycheck. They were following a person with a purpose. That's what your leadership needs, not the lion's roar alone. That just creates fear. Not the lamb's gentleness alone. That just creates weakness. But both together, creating a vision so clear and a culture so compelling that people drop their nets to follow. The deeper pattern. This wasn't a one-time leadership moment. Throughout his ministry, Jesus would demonstrate this lion-lamb pattern. The lion would cleanse the temple. The lamb would weep over Jerusalem. The lion would confront the Pharisees. The lamb would eat with tax collectors. The lion would command demons to flee. The lamb would hold children. The lion would declare, "I am the way." And the lamb would say, "Come to me, all who are weary." Always both. Never compromising either. That's the foundation of leadership that lasts. So your action plan. Define your dual purpose. Write out your leadership purpose in a way that requires both lion strength and lamb service. What bold vision requires your courage? What human need requires your compassion? Access your default mode. Are you naturally more lion or lamb? Where do you need to grow? Ask a trusted colleague which side you tend to neglect. Get in someone's boat. Identify one team member who's struggling before you cast vision or give direction. Simply be present with them. Listen, understand, then lead. Practice the nevertheless principle. Find one area where you've been hesitant to lead boldly because of fear or popularity, and practice Peter's words. Nevertheless, at thy word, take the bold step. And count the cost honestly. Like Jesus, be clear about what following your vision will require. Show both lion-like honesty about the challenges and lamb-like commitment to support people through them. A prayer for lion and lamb leadership. Lord, thank you for showing us what perfect leadership looks like. Strong as a lion, gentle as a lamb. Forgive me for the times I've roared when I should have served, for the times I've been passive when I should have been bold. Help me to lead with your purpose, not for popularity. Give me the lion's courage to cast vision that matters and the lamb's heart to serve those who follow. Show me how to get in the boat with my people while still calling them to deeper waters. Help me be both the leader they need and the servant you called me to be. In Jesus' name, amen. That was chapter 1, Drop Your Nets, from Lead Like the Lion, Serve Like the Lamb. If that stirred something in you, I hope you'll keep reading. This book is full of tools to help you lead with purpose. It's challenging. It's definitely something that will make you think with boldness. It'll make you act with humility. You can grab your copy at lionlambleader.com. And while you're there, feel free to take the assessment. It'll show you how closely are you mirroring the lion and the lamb leadership example of Jesus. If this helped you, share it with another leader. Until next time, lead with strength, serve with your heart, and never stop becoming the leader that you were called to be. I'll see you next time.